On the pier with the gear, Santa Monica. It's a pretty place. There's loads of English people around actually, and I'm not talking about ourselves. I just went back to the Apple Store downstairs to return something I bought earlier and didn't really want. And then surrounded by people from the UK, they're everywhere here in Santa Monica, and it is nice. Look at the sand, look at the rings, look at the beach. Look at the sandcastles. Maybe we should make a sandcastle. When we say we, I mean you. Not me. Anyway, welcome to the show. North American Counter-Strike is here, and we got Valent here, Mr. Soam Chowdhury. He brought me a map. Since I can't draw on one in the game, he's brought me one to do on paper. Very nice of him. It is 419 days since we could draw. Why are you smiling?
It's because he brought you a map of a map that's not in CSGO, so you can't really use it. So I find that funny. So it's,
well, I don't know, can James draw? Can you draw?
I can draw. Everyone can draw.
Okay.
Can you draw well? Definitely not. But anyway, what I like to do to troll people actually is draw pictures of them sometimes because they're really, really bad. Some people get upset and take offense. But, you know, what can you do? If you don't have a sense of humor, not my problem. Anyway, 419 days. 419 days since we could draw on a map. In about 2 hours, that will change to 420. But let's get to the Counter-Strike, shall we? Let's have a look at the bracket. We have gone from the European region to the North American region. And let's see what action we have had so far. Team Liquid beat X Singularity 2-0 yesterday, and Cloud9 lost to 2-0 to INTZ, which I think is reasonable to say was a surprise. Dan thought it was a 50-50. Apparently he was right.
James, do you hear a weird sound?
No, I didn't. I do. A little popping, but anyway, you can use a talkback for that and talk to the producers. Team Liquid versus INTZ will be in the top half of the bracket. In the bottom half, we've got ATK versus United. Well, we had them, but we don't have them. We had them. It's past tense. ATK won that one 2-1. Right Squad lost to Complexity 2-0. Complexity looked full of promise, and they will be playing tomorrow versus ATK. But today, it's going to be Team Liquid and INTZ. Yeah, I hear some popping like it's vinyl. Because of vinyl record or something. But anyway, that's our match today. We've got Team Liquid versus INTZ. I think it's very much a David and Goliath affair. However, INTZ, I think, are one of the teams we've watched in the past, and they've been frustrating in that their T-sides are always lacking. They're always kind of misusing their time, not going through choke points until there are 20 seconds left, and so on and so forth. They've always had two snipers on the team, and Yell's always been like the backseat sniper, but now he's the front seat sniper. Now he's the driver. And they look like a stronger, more complete team. They look. We have seen some promise based on what we have seen from them in the long term. In the short term, we've seen some promise from them. Against Team Liquid, it's pretty much the toughest test they can have in their region. I say Liquid or NRG, maybe 50-50 on who you pick there in terms of current form, but for INTZ, it is absolutely going to be an uphill struggle. We can look at the veto. So, we can. How do I pronounce all your names?
All my names.
All my names. The first name, the last name.
Nicknames.
Soham.
Soham, okay.
Last name, Chowdhury.
Chowdhury. I know a few Chowdhurys.
I know a few James.
Nice. I don't know too many Sohams, though. I think you're the only one.
You're the best one.
Oh, that's really kind of you.
James, it's like that thing with like the 4 balls that are hanging, and you like pull one, it hits.
Newton's something?
Yeah, whatever that is. If you close your eyes, you can see one.
Ah, I wish.
Yeah.
I forgot the name now. That's really annoying.
Yeah, that's
it's Newton something.
What?
Newton's something.
Ooh, I think we have a different name for it, but it is
Newton's balls.
Mirage, Dust2, and Nuke. We've got two juicy open maps to start off the proceedings here in this best-of-3 series, and then Nuke to finish things off. We're seeing a lot of Nuke recently. You can see that Vertigo was floated in there, but INTZ will veto it. They have the smaller map pool, if you will, so it makes sense for that to happen. Definitely don't want to risk that too much. So indeed, Mirage, Dust2, and Nuke will be... I keep getting hiccups when I sit down. It's really annoying. Anyway, those will be the maps that we're going to play on, and I think it's time to get into our predictions. But first, well, no, we'll get into our predictions. I think it's Liquid across the board, really. I think I can just put the predictions in for everyone because...
Why are you going to do that? Wait, don't take my choice
Okay,
away.
okay,
Don't take my freedom. This is America.
Okay. I won't oppress you, Dan. Although kind of secretly, I will. What?
I'll be throwing some tea in the ocean.
Some tea in the ocean. Okay. The ocean will filter out your tea, which is okay. Not the most toxic substance, but I mean...
So it's a Boston Tea Party reference, James.
If it's... I don't get it. I don't know.
Okay.
Who are you going to pick, Dan, with your freedom of expression?
He understands.
I'm not that kind of nerd, man. I don't
Inside
know.
Glocks and USBs as well, James. Okay, well I'll be picking Liquid because I do think this would be a little bit too much. The crazy thing is that obviously Sharks were able to beat Liquid, and that just kind of blows
This is
everything out of the
definitely
water
a
for me.
raspberry color.
So because you expect Liquid to be similar to Astralis insofar as they have the skill and the depth to absolutely smash teams which aren't in the elite level. However, Sharks beat them 2-0, so I can't discard that anomaly.
Soham.
I don't know. INTZ.
You
I
don't
said
know?
Z. INTZ's been playing Mirage a lot. Like that's their first pick forever. So
Okay, I'm changing my prediction. I'm going on TZ.
no, I'm going with Liquid. So I think it's gonna be
no.
2-1 though. 2-1.
I've been baited. I've been baited.
Well,
Take a screenshot, guys. Get the screenshots in there.
But,
Get your screenshots on the
It's
go.
gonna be Liquid, but I think
gonna
it might be
commit.
a 2-1.
Okay. Oh, you think they can drop a map to INTZ?
I think Mirage might be a map that INTZ gets.
You know what? The weird thing is, I really feel like I won't go as far as to say that I feel like the change is dramatic to INTZ, but there's definitely a significant positive change to the team since they've kind of stopped blocking each other in terms of roles and so on. I feel like they have a more complete roster. Because I feel like at the second tier of Brazilian Counter-Strike teams, you have a lot of big personalities who come into a team and do whatever they want, which is not necessarily the best thing for the team. And I think that they may have been in a situation where that has been a common occurrence. But I think those players have now gone, and I think they're in a better situation. But what do the people on the internet? Where are the Brazilian fans, man? Because some of these percentages recently, okay, they have not been as high as you would expect from that solid kind of football crowd in Brazil. They're dedicated. I need to see some good numbers here. 29%. It's not too shabby. It's not too shabby. I think Team Liquid at this point. I mean, what's your opinion? I would say going into the Boston Major, okay, I would say that Cloud9 were the biggest organization, or biggest brand, I think is the most appropriate term. The biggest North American brand in Counter-Strike at the time. Now, they had the biggest fan base. I feel like to that point, they always had a larger fan base in Counter-Strike than Team Liquid did. They were the favorite son. Now, I feel like that's changed, and people have had to go over to Team Liquid because of the success and because of the rebuild of Cloud9 and the collapse of that team post-Major. Do you think that Cloud9, it might not feel that way right now, but do you feel like they're still the biggest brand for North America in CS in terms of the fan base and the army behind them?
I think Cloud9 still has a bigger fan base, but I think Liquid deserves the fans right now.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yep.
There are some, you still see the people in a post-match discussion where you're having the mixed results while they rebuild the team, and they're just kind of waiting for the resurgence and so on. So yeah, it's not cut and dry, but yeah, Cloud9 is. I mean, they're both legendary orgs in their own right, but
James, it might be a good opportunity to speak to Valence about his opinions on Cloud9 now.
Okay, what are your opinions on Cloud9? What do you think about the current state of things and the recent change?
I think they are trying to play a solid brand of CS, but I don't think they're going to get there for a while. Takes a lot of individual decision making, being on point to play this kind of way where you kind of maybe are structured in the beginning of the rounds, but once you get into the mid game, it really becomes about individuals. So it'll take some time. They'll get there. They're not going to be there for a bit. It's a style that takes a long time.
Yeah, I feel like they need pieces where you have. I think I don't want to misquote, but I think Ten said that he wanted to be micromanaged.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like the team are basically playing on experience and having a feel for the game and what the right plays are, and having that kind of Fnatic-esque synergy.
Yep.
How would you change the team then? Actually, because if TenZ is gone and they're looking for that. Sorry to interrupt you, James.
Sure.
And they're looking for a solution in terms of getting the best of what's available for that system.
Yep.
What is the best way to go? Do you think?
People have been talking about this, but I think one of the biggest things is first you need a fifth. You need a fifth that actually believes in a system like that. That you aren't getting micromanaged. You're playing kind of loose, and first step is to find someone that does that. And we're trying out. I shouldn't say we anymore, but that Cloud9 is trying out Sub Rosa right now.
Yeah. So do you what players do you think would be? What kinds of players would be ideal? Who you think would be ideal?
I think anyone that has some experience playing already in that set system who is now looking to be more versatile. So it can be anyone really that has a little bit more experience under their belt.
Have we had the pinnacle numbers for this match just yet. We had the people's numbers, but do we have the pinnacle numbers? I like using my hands and my arms to communicate. When I'm doing an interview, I kind of my arms are around here a lot.
Gesticulate.
I'm spreading a little bit more. You know, I've got the wingspan. Look at the wingspan. Look at that. Look at the wingspan. I'm a falcon. If you believe you're a falcon, then you can be a falcon. Okay. Physical contact was made, but it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. That's a beautiful wingspan.
Gesticulation station.
All right, so we got 9.44 for INTZ, and see, no, looking at like the old INTZ, you can't complain at these odds.
There's damage though. There's damage to be done.
But with the new one, it's really hard because we've seen such a small amount of them, but they have looked like a team who have kind of finally broken through that glass barrier. We don't know where the ceiling is with this team. We don't know how far they could go towards an upset versus what level of team. So there's a grey as far as INTZ are concerned, and that's something that we need to look at once the match starts, because we just don't know. Of course, we don't expect them to beat Team Liquid necessarily. It doesn't mean they can't, but again, like what are the right odds to lay for this team? Don't know, because we need to see more of the team. But I'm interested to see, and who knows? We've seen bigger upsets. For sure, we saw Mix delete almost everybody in Europe in multiple weeks.
I was really happy about that, actually, because they did it by playing basics. It's the only thing that was available to them. They did it really well. I think they proved that a lot of teams make things a bit too complicated sometimes, actually. You gotta mix that stuff in. You can't. I think sometimes, you know, there's an obsession over just trying to play like these really complicated strategies, or like really like layered, reliant on a lot of things. But that means there's a lot of things that can fail, and that also means that improvising out of those things, if they do fail, is difficult. And it's also more things to be disrupted by the other team you're playing against. So sometimes those things are important, but sometimes the basic, going back to basics, is important too, especially on T sides.
Yeah, I'm interested, man. I feel like it's a great measure when you're up against a team like a Liquid, like a disciplined, strong, very high tier team like a Liquid or a Astralis. I think it's a good measure against a team to see where they're at, because you don't have those holes that you might get against other teams to try and exploit. But let's not forget, tickets are available for the finals. All these teams are trying to play for a spot, not only in the weekly final on Thursday, but the finals in Arlington, Texas. Astralis made it to the final for the week. Can Liquid do the same? It would be great to see both those teams at the finals. And if you want to make it there as well, ECS.FACEIT.com is where you can pick up some tickets. I've played a lot of pugs recently where people are saying that they're going to be at the finals. Are you going to be there? Of course I'm going to be there. Hopefully those guys will be there too. That would be great. Always nice to meet people on LAN. Always a good time in America as well. Somebody asked me recently what my favorite country to work in was, and I don't know if it's a simple question to answer. America has to be there because obviously you're speaking the same language as people. So in terms of like meeting fans and talking to people, it's the easiest job to do. So then it's different.
Comfortable too.
Huh?
Like hotels are big.
Yeah, like
they got huge rooms.
I suppose what you're doing around the event is to be noted as well. So Twist has got the new knife. Stewie said he was going to get a new knife, but it appears he was lying because I don't see it. Twist, though, is going to be the man with the classic knife here for Team Liquid, and we love to see that. Needs a name, though. Did you guys see there was a picture of Nitro and Twist before they made it and after they made it? Nitro looks like he's trying to commit some grand larceny, and he does not look like Nitro at all. He looks like a literally different person. And Twist looks like he just kind of fell out of the womb 5 minutes ago. And now he's got his hair going on. He's got the eyebrow game. He's definitely a fashionista for Team Liquid. He's a big spender. We've all developed, grown into their personalities, which is great. Those yellow and black gloves are really nice. Who had those? Forget the observing of the match. It's on the CT side.
Twist has a molly.
Not those ones.
Smoke molly.
Oh, he's going to observe it properly, for God's sake. Liquid have got Twist and Nitro with grenades for the T side. There's no P250s. Why hasn't it spread to Team Liquid? Adren, what are you doing, man? What are you doing back there? You're a smart man. I learned a lot about the game from his videos. Maybe it's time to return the favor.
Through apartments they'll go and get that cat split. Can be difficult to pull off these cat splits, but Liquid will do what they can. And so far it's looking pretty good. Bomb down though. Zach needs to get one more, but he can't find it, nor can SHZ, and it's going to leave Destiny in a 1v4. Not really all that favorable. But it's pistol rounds. It's always possible. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Stewie. Oh, there's a chance there.
It's a great way to start. No respect start.
So Valens, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So there was talk of, for Team Liquid as they started to struggle a bit, people were saying, okay, they're going to kick someone and so on and so forth. And they responded by saying, you know what, we're not going to change the roster. We think that doesn't make sense. Like, where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I don't think that they should change based on the recent slump, because if they want to change though, it should be because of like a long term or like a personality issues that they can't solve and things like that. But based on recent form, there's no reason that they should be changing.
People, they're too. I think there was an era where there was lots of just like maybe 2 years ago where it was all about changes and people still figuring things out, and you didn't really have the stability that you do have now in the scene. But I think people were way too focused on, oh, we've not made so. Let's change someone. Let's change her. Like, it's not always the solution. It's ridiculous.
All the best teams have cores that have been around for so long.
Yeah.
Astralis, Liquid, even Fnatic, who's back on the top now, right?
Very true, yeah.
That's a big frag from Zand, and he's given INTZ a man advantage in the CT force by here on Mirage. Smoke in the middle of the site will give some hiding spaces for the CTs. Got to be careful dropping smokes on site, because again, does give them some extra cover. Nitro rings the bell there with the UMP and goes to the inverse default plant, but there's no cover. He's through the smoke, maybe not realizing it. 2 versus 2, it continues, and now Elige is alone. StarCraft aim will be required. Smoke towards jungle, I do believe. Spots one up high. Moves jungle and connector. You can do all 3 different smokes from the same position, or one side of the box to another. He has created some space. He has 35 seconds. He is eliminating positions. Destiny and Yell will stay close. They have a Molotov, which is important. Yell is around the corner from Bardolph. Molotov on default. Would be risky, but if only one of them's showing, then it can still be one. This molly could be crucial. Elige is clearing CT, really smart. He's giving himself a bomb plant situation. Destiny spotted. Triple plant being attempted, maybe not. Inviting a push. He wants a 1 versus 1. He won't get it. Now it's time for Bardolph Molotov, but Yell, is he going to throw it? There it goes, but it's too late. The bomb has been planted. He'll be swung on though, Elige, and he will fall. Valens, are you familiar with Bardolph Molotov? You've turned your microphone off, Valens. Is your name Dan?
Is that the molly that gets both
sides.
fire and default?
It's inverse, and then it lands on top.
Yeah, on top of
and
fire.
goes on both sides. So you can't plant on the inside, you can't plant on the outside.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the Bardolph molly V2. Lands on top of fire.
On top of the firebox.
Firebox.
Oh yeah, that'd be more appropriate in that particular situation. But mine were designed so if you had an A with smokes, you could be outside connector, and you could have a lineup with the squares on top of the wall near palace or whatever, and you could throw it so you can't see where it's being planted. But if it's planted either side, you will thwart.
Got it.
Yeah.
And the smokes will go away, and they'll be very embarrassed.
Yeah, it won't have a bomb plant
You
in a lot of
stand
cases. My grenades are not gimmicks. They're made to win rounds, to break people, for psychological warfare.
Whenever I see a Molotov there, I think, oh no, Bardolph strikes again.
I think your presence in the server is scary enough, James.
Valens, you know the smoke, the jump throw smoke on Monster, on Overpass?
Yes.
Do you know who originally made that smoke? There's Bardolph.
Bardolph. No question about it.
There's Bardolph smoke.
Don't enable it.
There's Bardolph smoke.
Many
I make the
tournaments have been
MVP.
won because of Bardolph.
The MVP grenades.
You'd have a Bardolph course. I know what that would entail, but
You know what? I'm watching Nothing's course on the Udemy website at the moment. There was a 90% discount, so I bought it. And sometimes I play in Mythic League because I'm in Elo Health, I'm in Mythic Bronze, and I'll play with people who are like truly lost in CS. But which is okay because they're new, right?
Sure.
So I'll try to direct them. I don't think people will listen. I think I should PM them, otherwise it may feel embarrassing to kind of hear that. But there's definitely catching up to be had, and INTZ will try and do more than that as they look to extend their lead versus Team Liquid early on Mirage. Elige taken out towards the ramp, some nice map control. However, Stewie's in the palace. These gloves are nice. Black and yellow contrast.
Black and
My
yellow,
favorite
black
pair of
and yellow.
Jordans, black and yellow. It's all gone quiet. Team Liquid have a minute 10. Excuse me, Masma. Twist under the window. 3 players in mid now for Team Liquid. Do they boost? Do they boost into the window? Do they boost on the rail for a late rotation into the window? We don't mention that enough. I think in commentary, there's a general boost in the window, but we have to appreciate the boost outside the window, which is also an option.
Very nice. Destiny getting ahead of the play. The trades did fail completely as he just held down mouse 1, and that was really important. That's the time to stop that push before they get out of connector.
I think that's a round the Liquid should be still happy with, because if they just get this trade, they probably win the round. Stu's in a great position. He's going to kill the guy CT. The close ramp guy might kill him, but then the connector guys will come up and trade, and they get the bomb down. So I don't think this is a round that they should be like, hey guys, we can't split it. They should be happy with how that played out.
I don't recall the team that upset Liquid last time we saw them.
Sharks.
Sharks. Oh, yes, it was Sharks. Are you familiar with Sharks? The Brazilian team?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I really want to see more of them. They, their performances, from what we've seen, are very night and day. There isn't really a middle ground. It's either they do great or they get battered.
Yeah.
From what we've seen so far, but when they do great, it's really fun to watch. And that's
It
a
is.
devastating HE grenade.
A lot of
And
damage.
The cleanup should be good for INTZ. They stopped the bomb plant. The other 2 players were trying to play post plant in the apartments, which can be useful, high ground advantage, but there's little to no advantage to be had here for Team Liquid. I don't think they did any damage in that round.
This was something that I think teams, I don't know how good teams are at it these days, but what you just mentioned, Valens, about like being happy even though they got like kind of crushed
Yeah.
on connector, like understanding when you have advantage versus when you didn't, and whether or not the other team just made that 10% play work.
Yep.
Like that's something that a lot of teams used to be really bad at. They do something and it would not work out, even if they're in advantage. They'd be like, oh, we can't do that again. That's just the wrong approach.
Yeah. Playing strat roulette is never really the answer, and it's hard under pressure. And you know, you're losing a few rounds in a row. It's hard to keep that in mind, but it's super important, especially for Nitro in this case, to recognize.
3B for INTZ. Yell going a bit aggressive, which makes sense. He is like getting Yell going is really important. He is quite scary, actually. I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing the plays he'll be going for in this game. And INTZ, we can't understate their position right now. They are in a really good spot to stabilize their leads and their economy.
I think this is a good test for Yell because we know that he can be explosive, but it's another thing to be explosive versus the top teams. That is a challenge which not every sniper is able to have come to fruition.
That's what the Bez was talking about Shazam with. That Shazam is like amazing against worse teams, but against the elite teams, he stops being as aggressive.
You know, he can't make it happen as much. Now can Yell, because again, it's been a long time since we've seen him as the primary sniper, and I think part of that has, I wouldn't say he's given him a bad rap, I wouldn't go that far, but definitely he hasn't had his turn to shine, but now he does. And he will need to in this round. They will continue to trade and take position, Team Liquid, but Cello's around triple, around some smokes as well. Dropping some grenades to create some space moving forward. Has he been heard? Looks like he has. And now Yell's in the 1 versus 2. Less than ideal situation for him, making his way to connector around the smoke, looking for across the CT perhaps. Naf is in those fireboxes. Now if he stands up, you could see his head if he's still on the bench, or this position for example, so that will partly be why he is crouching. Pros will be aware of that. Looks like he wants to have a butcher's hook. He's creeping. He's been spotted by Yell. The scope will be heard, though, so there's no need to show. He could play off of Nitro's contact. It's pretty much a guaranteed trade frag situation. If Yell goes deep enough to peek Nitro, Naf can swing. Yell's defenseless because he has the AWP, and the round should be over in most cases. Yell may be understanding this. As soon as he sees that player and the player doesn't peek again, he knows he has conceded his position, and a trade frag setup will probably lead to his demise. So he falls back. He's outmaneuvered. It's chess.
I want to see him go aggro a ramp with the AWP. I want to see him everywhere. None to pass.
I think INTZ should be a little bit sad about that. They had 4 people A. Yell had all of upper B. They knew exactly what was happening. And Liquid somehow made it work. On the flip side, Liquid made that work, but they didn't do anything great that round. They waited for a long time. So I think they need to reconsider kind of map control a little bit. They're giving up too much.
Yell hops to that short position, but he hasn't really moved well. The flashbangs came in at the right time. Didn't see Stewie. Stewie saw him, and now Yell is gone. Such is life. Stewie waiting to line up a smoke off the window. Pay attention. This is how you smoke the window. You know, too many pugs where no one can smoke the window, no one can smoke top connector.
I can smoke both.
Well, they say A with smokes, 4 people go A, and 1 smoke is successful. Too many games. 4v4. Stewie taken out by Xand in an elevated position. That's the fast forward button for Liquid. Lines are up in the VHS as they charge into the A bomb site. Palaces with Liquid as well. Not too much to worry about. Destiny trying to look between the smoke grenades, but of course players are aware of that, and Nafly will have a look and punish. Man advantage now. INTZ outmaneuvered once again. They'll fall back to try and hold on to these 3 rifles. Liquid continue to cut the deficit.
So both gun rounds now that Liquid won, it's been kind of brute force A. They just did a full exec. They might have 3 or 4 people there on INTZ, but it doesn't matter.
A key thing too is that they get so much presence in middle early on. Obviously the kill onto Yell really crippled INTZ. That's something actually, speaking of pugs, that people on Mirage just don't understand. Like, you have to, if you're going to run something like A with smokes, you have to get rid of utility and show some presence elsewhere on the map. You know, I mean, you can, there's always a world where you can just go into it, but it's so gambly.
Yeah.
But the counter utility just kills you. And well, 2 rounds of success for Liquid, and INTZ have to spend the majority of their money. They really need to find some success. We're talking about brute force. Might see some more of that. Yell is denied a peek on connector. The typical grenades will be thrown for that. And looks like Liquid are waiting for a response to see if there's going to be an aggression now. Just holding that ground. Is there a response? No response. How long will they wait until they make a maneuver? Looks like get that smoke onto window, and now they will progress forwards towards connector. So we might have a pop flash coming in now.
Ooh, that's a deep one.
There it is, but Destiny was ready.
That
come
smoke.
from B?
Did you see the trajectory? Yeah, that came over the top from B. That was awesome. From Cello.
Oh, that was so nice, that plane to connector. Stewie's not done just yet. Stewie's definitely one of my favorite players to watch in CS. He just takes the ball by the horns.
Yeah.
He makes stuff happen. He's got great communication. He is a playmaker, and he's got great mechanics on top of that.
His timing is really good.
Yeah.
Even back when he was a pug star, a lot of people, they were pissed off at him because of how good his timing was. Going through smokes and flashes and self-flashing, it was really good.
It reminds me of, I think a lot of people are hoping that, let's say, you know, you pick up a 10, so that's going to be a Stewie, because Stewie was so good in the pugs.
Yeah.
But for a lot of players, they just can't translate those principles that they learn in the pugs. And that's always going to be one of those factors. Like, you know, if you understand Counter-Strike, it doesn't matter where the Counter-Strike is being played. But if you don't understand Counter-Strike and you're just learning it by playing pug Counter-Strike,
Yep.
and you understand pug Counter-Strike, well, that's not going to help you beyond the pug Counter-Strike.
You got it exactly right. I think why you're doing well in those pugs matter just as much as the fact that you're doing well.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know, Stewie's doing well because he's kind of outplaying other people.
Yeah.
Whereas someone that has kind of raw talent might just be outscaling.
Mhm.
And that doesn't necessarily translate when you're playing against the best players in the world in matches.
It's about understanding the gambles you're taking too, because I think that sometimes in CS, because you do have to take risks where you don't have all the information, you know, like poker or whatever, you know, you have a situation where you have to take gambles, but it's knowing which gambles to take, and I think that's another thing Stewie does really well. Like, I think people can mistake aggressive players for being, you know, not intelligent players. Like, I mean, you think Stanislaw, he plays really slow and methodical, he's a smart player. But to play really aggressive, you actually put yourself in more situations, or generally, so you actually have to be more, you have to be really smart and really fast with how you think.
Yeah.
And Stewie definitely nails all those things. And I feel like Cloud9, they could really use a Stewie right now. Could really use a Stewie.
I totally agree.
But there's only one Stewie, and Liquid has him. It's
I wanted to see the adjustment that INTZ would make, and they actually made it, which is playing post ramp, in the sense that they won't let Liquid do the full exec without contesting them at the choke point, which is good. But it doesn't look like Liquid's gonna go towards A this round, so we won't get to see how that pans out.
Yeah, and the key, having the AWP on ticket is super key with that forward ramp setup. There are lots of ways to deal with the AWP. If you get given connected for free, the AWP's usually a ticket. It's usually a setup like this to see how well Liquid can identify it. They are definitely keeping players towards A here, really making it feel like there's a lot of A presence. And Liquid, again, waiting for a response. I think they really want someone to push the apartments, punish that rotation if INTZ do indeed read this connected presence as an A round. Let's say, bombs towards B, and here they go.
So far, so good for INTZ. Looking to retake the lead. Dancing around the pillars. And that's a pretty solid job. One of the Liquid players is disconnected, which is why Destiny is currently on the left-hand side. That's a bug with the game, not the overlay, which is why it makes it like that. Can't do anything about it. But anyway, I wanted to make a note. Since we're on Mirage, Elige tweeted an hour ago saying, not going to lie, if Mirage gets removed before Vertigo, that would be a massive hit to the map pool quality. And I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I definitely think
It's I don't know how. I don't know if Valve would ever revert the changes they have made. We don't really have almost any data on current Vertigo.
I think I personally have a much different philosophy from Valve. I feel like, given what we see from them, I think what they focus on is putting maps in the map pool that are very different.
Yes.
But to me, I want maps that, whilst they can be different, they have to have certain things, and like they will have to have like I like model overpass. I don't think we have time to go into that discussion just right now. We had the next round playing out, but this is a big moment for INTZ. You know, Liquid is really starting to take a grip of the game. I'm actually surprised how they were successful in the previous round. It's a great pick from Nav, even though he's walking with that shadow. Doesn't take a lick of damage. Oh wow, was that a try peek? That's
yeah,
bold. That's bold.
It's dry. It's arid. It's a barren peak.
That's unfortunate.
Nice flick from Yell.
that's an odd peak by Buzz, I feel.
They've moved towards jungle. INTZ are all over the place. They've been in T-ramp a lot in this game so far. Where is Nitro now? 4 players have been lost for Team Liquid, and how can he possibly pursue the A bomb site? They know there's a player ramp, there's a player on site, there's probably a player CT as well. Could even be a player jungle, but he'd be dead if there was. It's always awkward trying to peek shadow because you're exposed to the jungle position at the same time.
Oh, he missed
Fails the jump. Sound cues are here for INTZ. They know exactly where he is. Flash into the B bomb site, but it's behind the player on short. Trying to invite a peek is Nitro. He's escaped the connector threat. Yell playing default, hiding in the big barrels. So it's not to be seen from the elevated position. That's a huge headshot. 12 seconds and no one's in CT. The bomb can get planted. With this smoke, I've seen Apex do this actually. He can jump on the boxes afterwards, but he won't get a chance. There was a clutch from a very long time ago where Apex bounced a smoke like that off triple, then jumped on default, and basically had a one-way on players around jungle, which was really cool.
That seemed like more scary than it should have been, but also I'm wondering where the flash is after they lose after they lose Twist in connector. They had about 4 or 5 flashes between the remaining players in connector. You can see there, it's a bunch of flashes, but no flashes were used.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy play after Neff dies A ramp, I think. They probably expected him to stay alive, and then when he died, they kind of made an audible that seemed to be a little bit too fast.
And it has given INTZ a chance to once again reassert themselves on this half. They've definitely got money control. Is this a force buy or is it around?
It looks like a force buy.
They spent a lot of money, but there's still some money on some of the players.
Let's see how things look in the In the next round, Stewie makes his way into the window. Yell's in shotgun mode. This is scary. He won't miss though. A quick scope from Yell, and Stewie has been eliminated. Stewie makes his way out. Liege dueling. Again, the dry peaks low on utility. Not working out so far. INTZ looking to extend their lead once again. Got good positions on A once more. Some jewels to be lost though. They know a player is in sandwich. The spray is there, but that's just bait for Yell. Destiny standing in the smoke, allowing his team to play off of him. But Yell will be eliminated. Destiny still in sandwich somehow, and finally gets taken down. Running out of bullets, Nitro. Horrible time. That really would have been a very important frag. 40 seconds, and Nafly rotates out of Palace. He knows where one was. But what will be the makeup once he gets towards T-ramp? 30 seconds. He doesn't have too much time to do this. Trajectory is seen. That's half the information needed. However, from the jungle, the grenade is thrown, and now they're both in connector. He could go for the default plant. He has an AK. There is a Molotov for Cello. Has he got the firebox play? Oh, he's gone for the one maybe. Hasn't quite hit the mark though, and Nafly with 2 headshots makes it look easy. Definitely isn't. But that is a very important clutch for Liquid.
Bardov Molotov failed.
It wasn't Bardov.
It was fake Bardov.
It's fake Bardov.
Counterfeit Bardov.
It's the wrong dimension Bardov.
Damn, that sucks. That's a rough one to lose for INTZ. Such a powerful position. Great clutch from Nav. Oh man, it's crazy too. If the Molotov was correct, he would have had no chance.
It's very... I feel like it's hard to land it on that side as opposed to the other side. A rush in mid from INTZ. They've got a kill on Stewie. Haven't picked up the weapon just yet. They'll pick it up for a second. As fast as it's collected, it's dropped. Yell doesn't land the headshot on Nafly. Some nervous shots, and it will quickly be 6-6. It's close as we head towards half-time. Not there just yet. This is an important round for INTZ because they will have no money left after buying.
Yeah, again, I feel like we still haven't really seen Yell activate too. You know, we've seen Yell be very defensive. I wonder if it's a respect thing, you know. I wonder if there's too much respect. I think the Brazilian teams are really good at no respect gameplay, but right now we're seeing a pretty passive Yell when he has the AWP. I want to see him go crazy. I want to see the reins come off. And we get a 2-man underpass push, so that'll have to do for now. Destiny holding one side of it. That's a free kill onto Stewie. Don't expect the underpass play. And now there's a really sick opportunity because Yell, okay, he's actually really deep towards B apps, but that's not going to be helpful here. So he set out to get something. Both players eliminated immediately. It's almost a shame that Yell's not just hanging out with his teammate on an underpass to both fight from that position, but never mind.
I feel like in a lot of these rounds, INTZ have the advantage, and then Liquid kind of just bring it back and win the round. In this round, they got the first kill at bottom mid, and again, Liquid sped it up towards A and just got all the trades.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because you know, if you see one guy go underpass, it's not always, but you know, a good portion of the time it might be the second B player who's doing that. So, you know, rushing into the A site, because it looked like they sped things up after losing Stewie. Normally speeding up towards A is because you know that one or two of the A defenders are in mids, pressuring mid. But Liquid seem confident to brute force in this game.
Liege, the sentry. Creeping out. Oh, he's so clean, isn't he? He's surgical. I like his Karambit. He's a no-skin man. Gone for the classics. It's not a bad combination. I think he could do better. With the yellow gloves. You need contrast, man. You can't just go audio, then you're a banana. Who wants to be a banana? You want to be Banana Man? You could be Superman. Would you take Banana Man over Superman?
I would not.
I would hope not. Liege now hunting for frags towards the B bomb site. Hops off the ladder. Nice response. I thought he was going to get 2D'd there, but he will deny. HE off the bricks, and sand will be shattered. Cello remains. A quick round from Liquid. A quick round of Violet round. A brutal round.
I don't know how INTZ's T side is going to look, but is there going to be another warp in this one for Yell? Where are we at on the money? Let's see the money. Show me the money.
You're being ignored. That.
Being ignored.
It's like talking to girls in your teenage years. There's no response.
Where's the money at, Siggy?
This is my experience.
Wow.
He's having a chit chat. The UK lads in the back.
Well, we do have the ult for
Paying
Yelp.
attention.
We find out one way or another, with or without Siggy's help. And yeah, so again, I really want to see him get a little bit aggressive here. Take the wind out of Team Liquid's sails. They're going to go for a fast presence towards top mid again.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing a lot of Nat at the beginning of rounds because he's got a sick knife. I know how Connor plays. It's a really nice knife. I'm getting triggered with these nice knives. I can't help myself. It's a problem.
Do you have that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How much is that one?
I don't know. I was
That's
about
gotta
to
be
look,
like,
but
that's gonna be like 500-600 at least.
yeah, hopefully it's
1,000?
too much.
2,000?
No.
What's your limit,
Not just
James?
for a fade new, huh?
What's your limit?
His limit is how much he likes it. It's
Basically, yeah.
So basically no limit.
Yeah.
Well, I decided if I buy something, I have to sacrifice something else. But I haven't sacrificed
like a
anything
child?
yet, and I bought.
What are you sacrificing? Blood sacrifice.
Yeah, I don't know. I spent a lot of money, put it that way. Recently, he needs the flashbang,
Nice flash.
but there's nobody there, so it's fine. Timing's not quite sharp, but it's fine. Destiny waiting for an engagement, but surely Stewie's got the advantage. He's jiggling. He's jiggling. How patient will Destiny be? Oh, hello. Stewie's ready for it though. They just keep coming. The headshots keep coming. The AKs keep on coming. 5 AKs. No Kriegs in this round for the T side, at the very least. SHZ trying to hold down the choke point. Cello considering going through the smoke, but you never know when people are looking, and the Nitro looks at a perfect time. And then there were two. SHZ by default will get eaten as well. The crab in the face. What are those crab things called from Half-Life?
Head crabs.
Face crabs.
Face crabs.
Face crabs. Head crabs?
Face crabs.
Face crabs, yeah. Face crabs. Because it goes on your face. Anyway, 9 rounds for Liquid. The face crabs
right.
are out. And we'll see if it's head crabs or face crabs. We will update you after the
crabs.
break. Definitely face crabs.
Crabs.
Up your game. 128 servers for the smoothest, most responsive gaming experience ever. Ensure you game seamlessly with our state-of-the-art FACEIT anti-cheat. Track your progress with advanced stats within your community, country, or region. This is the true ranked experience. Sign up now at FACEIT.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
And we are back. Team Liquid will start with 9 rounds. And apparently it was head crabs and not face crabs.
Dan was right, but let's not tell him.
Yeah, I'll always say face crabs. Because it lands on your
crabs.
face. Those things used to make me very uncomfortable back in the day. At some point I'm going to do like a run through all the Half-Life games on the stream. It's a run through the A bomb site for INTZ, jumping to avoid getting a headshot, but they are walking into some kind of crossfire, and a new one will be made by the CT side as they continue to lose players. FACEIT 1 versus 2, Elise trying to finish off the job, but Nitro will do it. A very fast round, it's a pistol round. Sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're not. Liquid make it to double figures immediately.
You know why INTZ didn't win that
Why?
pistol? No, P250.
He said it. You need that range, man. Where the P250's at. It's like adding milk to cereal. It's necessary.
You put the cereal first or the milk first?
I don't eat cereal.
If you did.
I'd put the cereal first to see how much milk is required. So he's got the French gun. Is it a gold FAMAS though? That's what I want to know. There's a Liege with the drill, and it's another brief round. And that's bonus money. MP9 money, SMG money, SMG kill, frag money. Ooh, Liege he's got the clean stat track on the CT side. And he's got the Karen bit on the T side. I like it. I always like the clean Karen bit.
This one looks sick.
It does. It looks tactical.
Yeah.
It looks tactical, which is nice. He's got a long ways to go though. I've got almost 7,500 frags on my stat track knife. And I have 10 other knives on top of that. So imagine how many knives I got in total. I love knifing people. No matter what the cost. So Noble HE. I really want to see Stewie's right FAMAS. I really want to see it. Can I see it? Is it a gold one? He's holding a smoke. Never mind. We'll come back to it. Okay. No. He's got a potato FAMAS.
That looks very bad.
Yeah, that's awful. What kind of...
Drop it. Stu, drop it.
All that tells me is that fashion advice is needed, okay? The gold
You should
FAMAS.
hit
You
up
know
Twist.
when Valve introduce a gold skin, they don't do that... just a clean gold skin as well, because you've got like the golden koi, right, which is one thing. But like the lore, yeah, the lore is gold.
True.
The dragon lore, the Dargon lore is a clean gold skin. It's very highly rated. They're special. They're special items.
What about the Tiger Tooth skins?
Yeah, the Tiger Tooth is that's clean. Do I still have a Tiger Tooth? I got I was given. Actually, I was sold a Karambit Tiger Tooth by a fan at a discount, which is very nice.
This
I had
is
it for
interesting.
ages, but I switched it for a Butterfly Tiger Tooth.
They gambled for A, and Nitro had his knife out spotting, and they're going B.
He's ready. He's got a fast fire rate. He was ready. Now he's gone. He lost the duel to a free Stewie with the French gun. He does some damage, but only the one kill. Liquid are at a disadvantage. It's gone from bad to worse. Nafly in the smoke. He'll try to swing on the bomb planter, maybe. Won't even get that far. Go for Yo on the window. Or SH whoever it was. That'll also fail. Just the one kill there for Liquid. The Creek party on round number 3 will be successful for INTZ. They're 4 rounds behind now, and it's time for Liquid to splash the cash.
That seemed like Liquid tried to get a read going that maybe they saw in prep, that they like to end B or like to end A for some reason, but they just gambled. Nitro just spotting by himself, not even opting, and yeah, they had no info mid.
Tactical timeout from INTZ. Again, this is the first map of this best of 3 series. Dust 2 is to come the pick of Liquid after the pick of INTZ, which is Mirage. They're on a catch-up. 5 creeks, 5 scopes on deck. It's a scope party. Do you have a weapon of choice? Are you a rifler? Are you a sniper?
I think I'm a rifler. I
Okay.
like using the op, but I think you need to use it strategically, like you did on Overpass last night.
You're a measured man. I was in battle sniper mode yesterday. I was feeling it. I was feeling it. That was good. May it continue today. It's a much needed win after 4 losses in a row.
The tilt was setting in.
Oh, it could have been 2, but Stewie will get the late flick to land a headshot of Destiny. This is Stewie. This is Battle Sniper Stewie. This is such a great credit to Cloud9, especially on Mirage. When I always felt like when Cloud9 needed that extra gear on the CT side of Mirage, Stu would pick up an AWP and plane connector, and that was always a great example to show some of the dynamic aggression that he brought to the team. He's the right kind of player for it.
It's great because Ska obviously is a great passive operator, but Stu brings that explosiveness. So in combination, when they were both opping, he kind of had both gears.
Yeah, Stu, Skadoodle was a steady pair of hands, and Stu was the bath salts. Just running around eating people's faces. 45 seconds for Zand, and maybe his goal at this point is to do as much damage as possible, but at some point you have to respect the prowess of your opponents as well. You are unlikely to be given too much chance to do exactly that. That's a really ugly skin.
It looks like a tablecloth. Would you use it as one?
No, it looks like somebody got a cheese grater and put it on a skin. It's nasty. I want the lines for it as well. I just don't understand the thought process when the skin was designed. I think if you gave an elephant a paintbrush, you'd get something better out of this. But there is some contrast to be had with yellow and blue. But that skin is really like... I'm very distracted. I'm finding it difficult to do my job properly.
I'm finding it difficult to look at the screen.
I'm feeling nauseous. Ooh, look how the grenade fits his gloves. That's amazing.
They're
You know what,
coming
I might
out
have to
grenade
pick up these
skins,
gloves.
James.
Huh?
Grenade skins.
Or stickers on grenades. How about that? Let's get a sticker on a grenade. Or a smoke grenade. You know, we've got some smoke grenades in London. We did a skit with some smoke grenades because you can get them as film props. And we put a plastic glove, like a rubber glove, on our smoke alarm. But when we opened the window to clear the room of smoke, it went into the office upstairs and set off their alarm. And they had to evacuate their room, and then the fire brigade came. But they were happy to just get out of the office, just sitting around waiting for a disaster, so they were quite pleased. The woman upstairs was trying to be busybody about it. Oh,
You did them a favor.
you're lucky I'm not asking you for compensation. But yeah, please leave, love. Please just go away.
Never come back.
I've still got 3 more smoke grenades.
I want to see what other kind of skins Xand has, because that sig was not great.
It's
But
yeah.
maybe it's a taste thing. Let's see.
The black and yellow is so nice though. Like I'm really loving this.
That glove. It's like a Navi. That should be the Navi glove.
I feel like on the T side, I used to have gloves on the. I used to have the hand wraps, the Badland hand wraps on the T side, and then some like more CT-ish gloves, like some greeny kind of boring gloves on the CT side. But now my gloves are sick. Oh, here's some hand wraps. Damn, Siggy's really focused on these skins, man. He should open a website.
INTZ had no map control and they're going straight into an 8-hit, and Liquid has a bunch of people here.
In they go, up a ramp, and Twist is looking like he's in a pretty good spot here. Indeed, anticipating the play coming out of Palace in time. Still somehow though, INTZ managed to trade their way to success, and maybe Elige went a bit too deep. Nice punish from Naf. Look at the HP on these remaining 2 players. And Nitro has an incendiary, a flash and a smoke, and a kit, and a Krieg. He's got everything he needs to make this clutch work. Oh, RIP. Oh, he moved just in time. Beautiful.
Oh, he's still dead. There's a smoke grenade to be deployed. Is it planted? Default. He's waiting for the peak. Swings wide. Okay. That's the wrong grenade. Now, it should be an easy lineup for Destiny, but does he know the spray? Doesn't mind he gets it close. He closes the distance, sorry. And he will win around for INTZ. He will fall. It will cost him everything, but it will cost Liquid everything as well. It's going to be a weird buy for INTZ at this point.
So, I have a question for you, James. How likely do you think it is that Nitro doesn't have individual buy-ins for each grenade? Because I feel like it's hard to make that mistake. Do you think he's scrolling? Is he a scroller? Is he scrolling his nades?
He tapped his forward button.
I have individual
Tap.
I have individual buy-ins, but there is the odd occasion where I will scroll for what reason, I don't know.
I never scroll. But if you use WAC, I guess you're limited. It's like that. So, anyway,
Last round is a good example of why Mirage might be a good map to actually move. Because Stu had that op presence around connector, and the response, INTZ's response, was to just let's exec A, full exec A. There's only so many things you can do on Mirage when other teams' oppers are doing well, or when CTs are aggressing ramp. You know, it's like it's kind of predictable. But even though you predict it right, you can still lose the round, like you saw.
What comes after Vertigo? That was such a it was a brave new world when they said that was in the active duty map pool. I don't think anybody was expecting that. That was always seen as a fun map to jump off the side of.
They were trolling.
And now it's in Pro CS.
I think Astralis knows too. Isn't Mirage their permaban? I feel like they know the map's going out. They're already prepping for cash.
You can see the next maps through the smoke.
I do miss. I'm quite curious how Cash is going to look, because I'm hoping that the problems that it had before, that those will have been resolved. It's hard to say until we see it in action, but obviously there's some changes with the boost, with the way the certain crates are and everything, and I'm sure there's lots of changes that could impact the pro meta that I'm not going to see in a puck. So I'm really curious about that, because Cash did have some issues. It's like any map to begin with is generally CD-sided, because the T's have yet to work out the tactics available to them, and then they have to figure out what strategies will be best complemented by those tactics, and then you start to get a very T-sided map, which is what happened with Cash. But anyway, I digress. It's like another A round coming in from INTZ.
I can't believe SHZ is still using their hit net. Take it away.
Swing twist, looking for a transfer, but the trade is there. 3v3. So what is going on here? Because INTZ now not fully committing, just kind of contacting in. They get some damage. Well, they've got a 3v3, so that's great. And the rotation's been caused as well away from that B bomb site. So now Yell's got himself position on B. He just has to capitalize. He only has so long before Liquid figure this out, and then it becomes like an anti-timing. So will the bomb make its way there, or will it be spotted? Oh god. There. Oh my days. Can you believe the timing of that one? That would have changed everything. They still have no eyes on B. Oh wow. I mean, INTZ being so slow about this.
One of the problems is there's too much time on the clock for the CT. So I think when you get to the 30-second mark, it's time to defend the bomb sites. Got some presence shown in one position, and it is drawing the CTs like a magnet. Although Nafly is wondering, he's not sure.
They really don't think B is possible. Like it didn't seem like, by looking at the minimap, at no point in this round did it seem like B is possible. Perhaps because of Stewie's presence top mid.
I think that Nitro's got to start rotating towards B here. You've got Stewie on the ramp, you've got Nafly and Connector, and you've got Nitro CT. I think at some point you've got to start making a play towards B, but that doesn't really come until it's reactive. I think on Mirage, I mean, it depends on your positions. Yeah, I think you can get a good read sometimes, but there I think they have way too many angles. I mean, it could be two people spilling out, and if they do spill out of Palace, then the only person who's really gonna stop the bomb from being planted, is Nitro there. But there we go.
I guess as well, Liquid, you have some decisions to make with how you're going to position your players. If you put like one player in market, then suddenly you're going to get outnumbered pretty quickly, because you have to, firstly you're going to be giving up the B-bomb side if they do go there, even if you spot it. But also you give up the opportunity to really take map control elsewhere, because you're just going to be spread too thin. So they kind of have a two-man push up middle, whilst holding one down in a setup that is easy to play retake on the A site. So yeah, weird, very weird round.
12-10, INTZ are keeping it close. New look INTZ, under new management, you might say. Boost into the ladder room quickly for Team Liquid. While there's a smoke up in the window. 4 smokes in mid at present. And INTZ are creeping towards B. Looks like a straight up execute, but the only person who is here is Nitro. Drops the smoke to allow his teammates to rotate in through the door to allow him to defend that bench position. Stewie trying to creep, trying to punish the reload, I think, there with the timing, but Cello was ready for it. Get some bullets in the hole. Nitro round the smoke, reposition, punished by FACEIT. The trades continue. Well, not really trades, really. INTZ have only lost one player, 4 versus 1 as the lead remains with Desert Eagle. INTZ are threatening a tied score. For now, they'll just be the one away. That's a very successful push into the B-bomb site.
Yeah, this is getting kind of scary for Liquid. Dust 2 as well. It's definitely a map where, you know, if INTZ get a good start, they can certainly roll with it. If they're on that T side especially. Maybe I will have the last laugh on the predictions after all.
That would be the darkest timeline. But there is a world. 1 in 12 million.
Leash is 22 for 13. Not bad.
It's not terrible, no. He's leading the charge with his fancy knife. His fancy pants knife.
It's the only like non-default skin he has, I guess, right?
No, he's got a Karambit on the T side.
Oh,
Skinless Karambit.
oh, that's even Stat Track, is it?
It is.
It's Stat Track, yeah.
Yeah. It's only about 7,500 kills behind me, but it's fine. 12 to 11. 2 AWPs now for Team Liquid. Once again, Nitro and Stewie. This time Stewie is CT ramp, as opposed to in connector. Yell's waiting for the... Oh my god, what kind of a combo is that?
What just happened?
The funny thing is that, I mean, he peaked at pretty much the same time the HE went off. Maybe the HE was a distraction because the smoke from the HE may have obscured the vision, but we'll never know because he was so fast. I like the peek from Yell though. Commonly you'll find a CT player there. You can peek into connector, then take some cover and peek into Palace, so on and so forth. But Elige, he's red hot.
Yeah, he's really keeping Liquid in the game, it seems, with some of the fragging that he's able to do. Very slow round from INTZ here. Very, very delayed mid-take. Very, very delayed mid-take. And Liquid are wanting to contest a little bit. This is a huge problem because I don't see how INTZ are going to finish on a bomb site right now. They do have utility, but how are they going to finish on a bomb site? They're just picking up the bomb here. What is the answer to getting onto a bomb site right now? 25 seconds. He's going to run a catwalk. Manafly is here with a better angle. Good flashback. Now you got Mr. Nitro ready to deliver the damage. Looking to delay with the smoke. He just has to stay alive for as long as possible. Oh dear. And he even connects, which, as I said, INTZ they just burn way too much time.
That's the INTZ evolved creeping back.
Yeah.
Why don't we wait until we've got no time left and then rush?
Sub 30 seconds, he's back mid with the bomb. It's gonna be a rough round.
All too common an occurrence. Line up, take the tickets.
That op looks sick, actually.
Which one was it?
That's a new one.
Oh
Nitro
yes.
has a new one.
I have one of those. Now we see INTZ for this map are almost at 4. But the score's still close. But maybe they've run out of ideas. Maybe old INTZ creeping up suggests that they've gone from one page to the first page to the end of the page of the strat book. It's not quite choose your own adventure. Liquid will have a say. We have 7 scopes on the server. 3 M4A4s. A silence M4 of late. But I switched back to the M4A4 late yesterday. If I start losing a lot, I just switch weapon. It's almost superstition. 1 minute on the clock. There's the crouch peek into the connector position. There are 2 players top mid who could have thrown a flashbang, but why do that when you could just get shot by an AWP instead? Nitro's being taken out towards the B bomb site. Yell looking for CTs, trying to catch them rotating. However, Nafly already has position. They thought Nitro was alone. They were wrong. Zanvea seen something towards the bench. Jewels are being lost everywhere. 30 seconds remain, and Destiny's in a 1 versus 4. It is falling to pieces. It's coming apart for INTZ late on in Mirage. This is their pick, let's not forget.
Indeed. It's not looking good for Destiny here. It was a nice play from Yell. And the discipline from Team Liquid, you know, he's just expecting a cross. Like, he's expecting it so hard, but there's just no peek at all. Huge discipline there, knowing that the AWP could be posted up on that angle. Not going to peek it. Why would you? Got a player on the site. So that's a very well handled by Liquid.
Cool play in the beginning of the round. Stu jumped window to Cat. I think a teammate threw the Straw's top mid smoke for him, but Stu didn't get aggressive. He was just holding for someone to flash through, and like hopefully one of the INTZ guys comes through the top mid smoke. Easy kill for him. They didn't, but I like that play.
It's nice too because so many, and originally when that smoke appeared, people did use it for control. Now it's just like, we're going to slow down the default. You might be encouraged to flash through it and overwhelm us. But ultimately, I like how it helps you take control. And they could look like they're in a really good position now. It was very scary for a while.
Marvelous opening frag from Nitro, the AWP, some jump peaks. Got to be careful about the apex of your jump, because you can get popped. I need to learn this lineup because I always forget it.
Yeah, I see.
Very deep in the apartment, so if you try to creep through it, you will be exposed. You'll be on the front page of the National Enquirer. Nafly goes deep behind the smoke. They've taken a forward position in the apartments, and now you can look for information later on if he wants to. The smoke will go, I'm sure Nitro will hold the angle, and maybe Nafly will creep up behind it. Yell staying in the apartments, it seems, with the bomb. And if that smoke disappears, there could be an issue. He's actually going to re-pick the apartments with the bomb alone. I don't know how I feel about this. The smoke is up. The smoke will soon be down. Oh, if that Molotov went 1 foot further, Yell would have been heard. He's literally creeping in with the bomb. Now the bomb's been lost. What is the purpose of this? What is the meaning of this? The bomb pushes first, and the players who you imagine will be faking then push the A bomb side. I don't... Can you... What is the meaning of this?
Yeah, we're playing for some stats right here, I think. Help the T's at A get some kills. Get their confidence up, win the next round.
What? Why does the bomb go first and everyone's on A? I'm so confused.
It is weird that he committed with the bomb.
Swiggy, what's going on?
Jiggling.
Swiggy, can you explain this?
I think it was just, he just didn't expect Nafly in that off angle. It wasn't too bad. He was just going to hide in the smoke.
But the smoke was gone.
James does not like it.
I just don't understand it.
But do you like it?
I'm confused. I don't think I like it.
Change the topic. James, what's your elo right now?
I was close to 5, but then I lost 4 games in a row. Now it's no longer close to 5.
Huh.
So we can build. We can build.
Nice, you're getting it. Like something's
Something's
happening. Something's happening now.
I'm on an upwards trajectory.
Really
finally.
exciting. I'm really excited. I could play a game with you and not have the server filled at level 1s. It would be a significant.
Well, you're still on the server then.
Hey man, last time we played, did my best.
You did a few 50 bombs, or whatever it was.
Did my best.
It's about time. Only took 5 years. 4 Kriegs for INTZ, and Destiny's on a Deagle because of the timeout loss earlier on. These footsteps will be spotted by Nitro. His angle will be obscured. This may draw more players to B, however, Liquid are deep on A. Elish is in the sandwich position. Twist is in default. That you can't really fall back from these positions safely. But doesn't seem they want to. Harassment to bomb sites as usual, grenades and so on, trying to cause that over-rotation. And smokes will be lined up for the A site. A with smokes. Let's see if they dilly-dally in the choke point or go quickly beyond. Perfect response with the incendiary on the ramp. Warp timing, buys time for the rotation. Now there are almost 4 players towards A for Liquid.
Look at this smoke setup with Twist. That's pretty dirty, isn't it? At least went sandwich to do some more damage as well. And They've already halted things here, Liquids, and the smokes are going to be gone by the time they are able to plant, and that's a wild swing from Yell, not going to work out, and 16-11 will be the final score. Team Liquids, it wasn't smooth. There were some huge hiccups. There were some potholes, but they end up the winners of map 1, and INTZ will just have to do a better job on Dust 2.
Indeed they will. What did you think overall from the performance of those teams?
This entire game on T side, teams were winning rounds, going into stacks, and still winning somehow, and like that's the reason they got close, honestly. And then Liquid finally started running away with it when they won that big round at the A bomb site. Stu doing some good things in connector with his op. He pretty much had mid control the entire half, so I think that's a big reason that Liquid knew where to stack, and INTZ just didn't do enough. They're going 20 seconds left, bomb top mid. It's gonna be rough out there. That's the case.
Oh yeah. I have my sights set on Stu for my next podcast. Forward to that.
Hell yeah.
Nitro really starting to go off there at the end. Hope he's getting that AWP warm for Dust 2, but here are the final scores, damages. You like numbers, James, and here we have many numbers for you.
I'm a big fan of numbers, especially algebra. What? Algebra. There we go.
Algebra.
Liege, 27 for 15, almost 2,700 damage. Marvelous stuff indeed. We are 1 hour away, I think, from this. I'm just like, we come back to the studio, I can see the clock.
He wants the
With the clock.
420.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I suppose.
Is it?
I don't know what it means.
What do we
but
do?
People talk about it a lot.
Is it fun for you?
For me, at this point, it's extremely repetitive, but I guess it's okay.
What, is it as repetitive as your leet? Your leet
Well, I don't
numbers, your
try to,
leet
like,
clock, your
I don't stop the
pinnacle,
show.
put leet odds on there.
I don't stop the show every day to bring everyone's attention to it, so...
It's part of the show. What do you mean? They're not stopping the show. It's literally a clock, which is built into the studio. It's part of the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to a break. When we're back, unfortunately there's more Dan, but fortunately there's more Liquid versus INTZ on Dust 2? Is it Dust 2?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Dust
yeah.
2. Thanks team, see you after the break.